This is the all-new Goldees Backyard Offset, and every time a new high-end backyard offset comes out, people want to know how it stacks up to one of the originals, the Franklin Barbecue Pit. Well, M&M and Goldees went completely left field with their design, as you can see, so I'm going to test it out, go through the pros and cons to see if this thing is a gimmick or really a Franklin Barbecue Pit killer. So let's talk specs. So first of all, the Goldees Pit goes for $4,250. It's entirely made of 1/4 inch thick steel, which is pretty standard for high-end offsets. It has a 4 foot by 6 inch diameter smokestack, a 24 long by 20 inch wide firebox, and a 50 by 24 inch cook chamber. And the Goldees smoker can actually utilize 90% of the entire 50 by 24 cook surface, as shown by this biscuit test run by Jerby Barbecue here on YouTube. And with this monster capacity, the Goldees offset can cook 6 to 7 briskets comfortably. But Jerby Barbecue has proven that it is possible to do 8 at once. Now compare that to the 2 to 3 briskets you can fit on the Franklin Pit. And the Franklin costs $5,150, which is almost $1,000 more than the Goldees Pit. But to be fair to the Franklin Pit, 2 to 3 briskets is about average for high-end backyard offsets. I was recently at Goldees and they actually have a mill scale 94 on site, and I was able to see both the Goldees Pit and the mill scale right next to each other, and I was blown away at how much more capacity the Goldees Pit had versus the mill scale 94, even though the tank is only slightly larger on the Goldees Pit. The mill scale is a 94-gallon tank and the Goldees is a 98-gallon tank for your reference. The capacity on the Goldees Pit is more like a 250 than a backyard offset, which is crazy. But one thing that's unique to both the Goldees Pit and the Franklin Pit when it comes to backyard smokers is its beginner-friendly design. So with the Franklin Pit, the smokestack has absolutely no damper on it, so there's no guesswork on how open or closed it needs to be. And then the firebox has a bunch of etchings on it, including Franklin's name, so even when the door is closed, you get a ton of airflow. As a result, the pit draws really well, which is a big plus for any offset smoker, but the downside is you really have no control in terms of running the fire inside of your firebox, outside of using like really little tiny pieces of wood to kind of keep the flames down so you don't burn your food. Now the Goldees approach to the beginner-friendly design. They included a damper on the smokestack, but they marked the damper with lines and bumps which let you know if the stack is open 25, 50, or 75% open. That way you can always set the damper the same way every cook. And the firebox is attached to the cook chamber by a 6-inch diameter curved pipe. This design prevents the meat in the cook chamber from seeing the actual flames from the firebox, basically eliminating the radiant heat and giving you pure smoky convection cooking your food. As a result, you don't have to worry so much about the type of fire building, whether the flames are wild or low, and all you really need to do is focus on the temperatures in the cook chamber. The downside is there's a pretty awkward horizontal hotspot right in front of the opening where the firebox connects, which is why M&M provides a small water pan with the smoker. But I mean, every smoker has a hotspot, so it's not that big of a deal. Another potential downside that I saw to the smoker was that it was gonna have bad draw and pull, because unlike every other smoker out there, the firebox is not directly attached to the cook chamber. But this couldn't be further from the truth. For my first cook, I cooked beef dino ribs, and I built a big coal bed and put like 3 splits of wood to try to compensate for the lack of draw I thought the pit had, while I had the damper at about 50%. Well, for the first hour and a half of the cook, I was running the pit at like 300 to 350, and that was because it drew way better than I thought and I had way too much fuel in the firebox. Although the opening between the firebox and the cook chamber may be slightly smaller than the average backyard offset, the big, tall, wide smokestack makes this thing draw and pull like a champ, and I had to learn this the hard way. Finally, I was able to get it down to 250 degrees Fahrenheit by putting 1/2 split gently on the coal bed, but still the ribs finished in under 5 hours, so absolute fail on the first run. The fat wasn't completely rendered because of the short cook time, but what I did notice was that there was no burn spots on the ribs despite being cooked at such a high temperature, so I had to give this another try. So today I'm cooking a brisket with the damper set to 25%, and throughout the cook I'll be cooking between 225 to 275. Nice, low and slow. And I'm gonna have a dedicated brisket video on this channel in the very near future, but since that failed beef rib cook, I've been able to use this smoker quite a lot. I've used it like for the past 5 days in a row, and I really like this smoker, and it's actually running better than I initially thought, even though I had pretty high expectations because I got to play around with the prototype at Goldees Barbecue like back in April. But the question at hand is this the Franklin barbecue pit killer? Well, that's more of a subjective question, but what I can do for you is give you the pros and the cons, and then you can make that conclusion for yourself. And let's start with the pros. First of all, and probably one of the most important things, is this thing has monster capacity. There's no other backyard pit that can compete with the Goldees Pit in terms of the main grate capacity. And FYI, my evaluation is just for the main grate because personally, I don't really like top grates, and from all the barbecue joints I've been to, like nobody uses the top grate. So the top grate cooks really hot because first of all, you get like the hot gases that rise, but then also the top of the smoker like gives off a lot of radiant heat. So always, the top food always finishes fast. It starts dripping down and then just ruining the bark on the main grate. Also, if you use a second grate, when you're trying to like reach back in the back of the smoker, a lot of times you hit the shelf and you end up with like burn marks on your arms, which I guess some people think look cool, but while they're healing, they're just a massive pain. I believe the backyard pit with the second most capacity is the TMG Volunteer at 4 to 5 briskets based on Mad Scientist Barbecue's video on the subject. Second pro is the big, tall smokestack. So just like I said before, this thing just helps the pit draw really well, and it's almost like you're using a pit at the restaurant, one of those massive 1,000 gallon tanks. Also, I love that the food does not see the fire. This is revolutionary. Okay, so this is a 250, but for demonstration purposes, just pretend it's a 1,000 gallon pit. So in a 1,000 gallon pit, the massive firebox is attached directly to the cook chamber. So basically the first door is not really usable because of that insane radiant heat that's coming out of the firebox. It just cooks way too hot to do true low and slow barbecue. And that's one of the big problems that backyard smokers have, which is the radiant heat from the firebox, because in a 1,000 gallon pit, you know, you have a lot of cook chamber space, but a backyard pit is very small. So most of that cook chamber space is being exposed to that radiant heat. And a lot of pit builders fix this by inserting baffle plates inside of the smoker so that the food doesn't see the fire, but this is also problematic because it inhibits the airflow, and there's also radiant heat coming off of the baffle plate, so the smoker ends up running more like a reverse flow smoker than an offset smoker. But with the Goldees Pit, it's almost like you're taking that sweet spot in the cook chamber of a 1,000 gallon pit, making this pit run like a true offset smoker. It's genius. Another thing I appreciate about this smoker is its construction given its price point. So again, because they tried to make this smoker as cheap as possible, it really is a bare bones smokers, not a lot of bells and whistles, which really makes this pit stand out like a sore thumb compared to the rest of M&M Barbecue Company's lineup, because M&M Barbecue Company is known for like a really sleek and stylish design. Like Mike and Matt say, it's like twisted steel and sex appeal. And the Goldees Pit doesn't quite fit that description. But even then, I still appreciate the craftsmanship. First of all, I love the placement of that ball joint drain right at the center bottom of the smoker. Again, this smoker is known for its capacity, so you're gonna need good grease drainage if you're gonna put like 6 to 8 briskets on this thing. Then if you look inside of the cook chamber, if you take the grate off and look at the opening where the firebox and the cook chamber meet, you can see that opening is split by this bracket right down the center horizontally in that opening, allowing the hot smoke to go over and under that bracket. It reminds me of a poor man version of the M&M bypass system in M&M's bigger pits like the 500 and the 1,000 gallon offsets. Then if you go to the opposite side of the cook chamber where the smokestack attaches, you can see M&M cut out the grate bar in front of the opening to reduce the blockage of airflow. And then my favorite feature is the notches on the damper. I really don't know why more pit builders don't have this on their smokers. It's a super simple add, and it's just really helpful when you're making and following recipes. Also, the bumps are a great touch because you can change the damper and set it to whatever you want, even in the darkness. It's kind of like reading Braille. And finally, and probably the most important pro of all, is that Goldees uses this smoker at their restaurant. They use it every single week of service for turkeys and even sometimes for sausage. And even once for brisket, as we saw in Jerby's video. Yeah, they actually serve those briskets for service that day. No other backyard smoker can boast that it's actually used in a Texas barbecue restaurant, let alone Texas Monthly's #1 spot. So now on to the cons. So the first thing I'm gonna mention is the design. So me personally, I love the uniqueness of the smoker. I love the way it looks. But at the same time, I wear a pink beanie and a Sailor Moon apron, so I understand that not everyone shares my taste. So if you're a big fan of the traditional offset look, then you're probably not gonna like the way that the Goldees offset looks. The next thing is, I wish the firebox was a little bit wider. 20-inch diameter was just made it a little awkward to put splits in sometimes. 24 inches would have been perfect in my opinion, but at the same time, because the firebox is attached to that pipe, it would basically be really close to the floor. So maybe it's just a drawback of the design. I also wish the Goldees smoker had a few more features. So for instance, first of all, I wish it had a front shelf because, you can put your thermometers or, because it has such a big capacity, you can put like a tray of food there and then go ahead and load up the smoker. So a shelf would have been nice. Also, 1 or 2 more temperature gauges just to be able to see the temperature swings because like I said before, there is a hot spot right here and there's also a bit of a hot spot here because another feature that I wish this smoker had was a smoke collector. So because this is just a hard stop right here, like I said, there is kind of like hot air that accumulates here while it tries to escape from the stack. So it would have been nice to have the smoke collector because that would have mitigated a little bit of that hot spot. But I will say that the hot spot right here is not nearly as bad as the hot spot here. You can still absolutely cook on this side. And the thing I wish this smoker had the most is a foldable stack. So this smoker is humongous. Like, it's taller than my 250. It stands at, I think, exactly 8 feet tall. And because the stack does not fold over, if you're gonna put this in your shed or in a garage, you're gonna need 8 feet of clearance, just FYI. The Goldees Offset's unmatched capacity, coupled with its beginner-friendly design, makes this thing an absolute beast. It's the perfect tweener between a big offset and a backyard pit that the market desperately needed. Again, it's for you to decide if this is a Franklin killer, but I'm calling this the 250 killer. In a couple weeks, I'll post my brisket cook on the Goldees Offset, so make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss that. And in the meantime, you can watch the next video on your screen where I went behind the scenes at M&M Barbecue Company, the builders who made the Goldees Offset. And I'll see you guys over there.